Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Fred Davenport. I am the Interim Strategy and Communications Officer for Birmingham City Schools. Today is an exciting day for Birmingham City Schools as we've been waiting for weeks to disclose our positive gains on the 2025 Alabama State Report Card. You will hear from several individuals throughout this press conference, and the first person is our superintendent, Dr. Mark A. Sullivan.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. As Mr. Davenport indicated, I serve as superintendent of Birmingham City Schools. Today, the State Department of Education will release its A through F report card. And this is a report card that measures the success of schools as well as school districts. For the first time since the state began issuing this annual report card, Birmingham City Schools has earned its highest score ever, a 77. This is a 3-point increase from last year and a 7-point increase from 3 years ago. What is clear is that the more than 20,000 scholars in Birmingham City Schools is consistently making progress. Every person behind me has played a pivotal role in the success that you're witnessing today. From our esteemed teachers and our principals, to our dedicated cafeteria workers, to our custodians, our bus drivers, our parents, our community partners, all contributed to the achievement of our scholars and our overall success of Birmingham City Schools. Now, there are some key achievements that I want to bring to your attention. In Birmingham City Schools, we have reduced the number of schools rated as an F by 93%. In 2023, we had 15 schools that were rated F. That was the most in the state. Today, I stand before you, we have one school that's rated as an F. All of our high schools either increased or maintained their letter grade, and that's a milestone. We have 15 schools that increased one letter grade, and we have 2 schools that increased 2 letter grades. Our chronic absenteeism rate over the last 3 years, and I see Mrs. Ross in the audience, and one of the, I think, great hires that I made was having the wisdom to put Mrs. Ross over student success. But she manages our attendance officers, and our attendance rate decreased from 29% of our students chronically absent. That means that 29% of the students who entered our schools, about a third, were missing more than 18 days of school. We've decreased that over the last 3 years to under 14%. You know, we are excited about the work that's happening in Birmingham City Schools, but we are not satisfied. The success that we have seen, it doesn't happen by accident. It is a result of intentional strategies implemented after the COVID-19 pandemic. We focused on learning loss. We challenged every scholar to reach higher. We equipped our teachers, our educators with the tools that they need in order to deliver high-quality instruction. Birmingham City Schools have invested to close the gap in technology for our students. We partnered with agencies to provide high-dose tutoring. We use data-driven, intentional strategies to diagnose and then to prescribe educational platforms that support student learning. We have invested in our intercession program, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a second, to provide additional academic supports for students as well as enrichment opportunities that students need to boost their learning. So what does progress look like ahead? Well, we know that a C is not where we want to be, but it's a long way from where we were. We are 3 points away from a B. Our goal is to score a B next year and move towards that A for Birmingham City Schools. We want to ensure that every student reaches his highest potential, and we will continue to partner with our families, our communities, our businesses, because we know that student success is truly a community effort. And I want to just give a few shout outs. First and foremost to our school board. And we have many of our school board members here. So wave our hand. I think I saw a few come in. Our school board invested in programs that really put student learning at the forefront. One of those programs is Breakthrough Results. It's actually through the district management group. 3 years ago, we started this program with our third graders in math, and we saw a huge increase in math performance. And then we had them work with our third graders in reading, and we went from 53% of our students reading sufficient to having 81% of our students reading sufficient in 1 year. That's amazing. And our school board invested in this program. This program had never been to Alabama. And so that's just a testament to our ability, our willingness to try new things, to be innovative and creative, and we see the results that follow from that. Our city, our mayor is an education mayor, as well as our city council members. Our city invested in Common Ground, our mayor invested in Common Ground, and what that is, it provides our students with the ability to make good choices, right? And you would think that that's a very simple thing, but oftentimes our students come from environments where sometimes good choices don't come at a premium. And so we have to provide our students with the skills, the resources that they need in order to be successful in the school and also in the community. Common Ground does that. We also recognize that after the pandemic, we saw a lot of mental health issues amongst our students, and our mayor invested over $1 million to ensure that every school in the city of Birmingham has a full-time counselor. That's a really big deal. As well as financial literacy for our students, for our parents, and for our employees. At the county level, our county commissioners provided a 1-cent sales tax, and I think at the end of the month, we're going to have a big check which shows the commitment that they have. They also provide supports for individual schools, and I can't say enough about the work that Commissioner Tyson has done. She works with young ladies through a program called the Black Girls Roundtable, where she sends students to Washington, D.C., and those students learn to be leaders and learn what it takes to be leaders. So they are going to be the next mayor, the next superintendent, the next teacher, the next principal as moving forward. So we really appreciate that. Our DA, Danny Carr, has a program called Helping Families. This program, we looked at that chronic absenteeism issue, and it's very easy to blame parents for students being absent. But what we find is that when you dig into the data, that there are a lot of social issues that impede students coming to school. And you may ask, what are those? Well, we looked and we found that at least 1,500 of our students were experiencing some level of homelessness. And if you're experiencing homelessness, the last thing that you need is a DA sending you to court and possibly taking your children from you. What we want to do is use the carrot and provide supports. And so this program provides supports for our students. It provides clothing, jobs, resources for families so that students will have what they need and parents will have what they need in order to attend school. And at the state level, I can't say enough about our state representative. I see Mrs. Moore, Representative Moore here. She is a long-term advocate for Birmingham City Schools. She was on the school board at one time. I see Senator Smitherman. Senator Smitherman annually provides funding for anti-bullying programs. We use that funding for peer helpers, so we're having students work with other students to solve problems themselves. Oftentimes we say problems are solved at the lowest level, and when you're in the school and when kids can take ownership, they can take agency in their own learning, agency in their own discipline, that's a very powerful thing. And then I see Representative Garrett, and I told Representative Garrett a few months ago that we would have this press conference because this summer we kind of had an idea of what the scores were. And I said, I wanted you to be here, and I'm going to tell you why. During the pandemic, the federal government provided ESSER funds. And for us in Birmingham City Schools, that equated to about $19 million, right? And so people say that you cannot throw money at a problem and solve a problem. But when you have students, children, schools that have been historically underfunded, and you bring them up to level funding, they'd be surprised at what you can do and the outcomes that you can have. And what we did was a program called Intercession, where in Alabama, you only have 180 days of instruction. So out of the 365 days in a year, students are out of school more than they're in school. They're out of school 187 days. So our goal was to push in on that 187, because if we're going to make up learning loss, we can't do it within a traditional calendar. And so during the pandemic, we used our ESSER funds to continue that process. But after the pandemic, those funds went away. And so I invited Representative Garrett to Glen Iris, and during intercession. And he got an opportunity to see the enrichment. He got an opportunity to see a reading lesson where he actually had an opportunity to have a teacher sit down and go through the science of reading right there and see how students were getting that extra instruction in a smaller environment and the results of what that is. And so if our students participate in intercession, we go from 180 days, which is fewer than half, to nearly 200 days, which is more than half. So having our students in school most of the year. So you get the most industrialized countries have students in school far beyond 200 days a year. And so if we're going to make the kind of gains that we need to make, we need to do that. And the reason why Representative Garrett is so important is because over the last 2 years, he has dedicated $3.6 million to Birmingham City Schools to continue that process. And to our governor, we have a governor's turnaround schools. We have 5 schools that have been identified as governor's turnaround schools. And those schools were identified because they were among the lowest achieving schools in the state. And we have with us one of our principals, Dr. Ishman. Is she here? She's on her way. Well, Dr. Ishman is the principal of Washington K-8, and Washington K-8 is one of those governor's turnaround schools. And we've seen improvement in all of those schools. But I want to highlight Dr. Ishman because when she became principal, that school had a 55F, right? And as part of the governor's turnaround, they provide funding and supports for schools. And today, as the report card is released today, she has an 80B. She went from an F to a B. And I don't know if you've been to Washington K-8, but Washington K-8 is a school that has about 40% of its population has students who speak a language other than English. And when you are making the kinds of strides that they're making there, that really shows a commitment to education. We have taken that school and we've turned it into an innovative school. Right now, our students in kindergarten and first grade, they're learning half of their instruction in English and half of their instruction in Spanish, whether you are an English speaker or Spanish speaker. So our goal is that when students leave Washington, they are bilingual students, whether you were born in America and only spoke English or you were born in another country and only spoke another language. So we are proud of that. We're extremely proud of that. But not only our government agencies that have supported Birmingham City Schools, we have a number of community partners. United Way. United Way partnered with us through a program called High Dose Tutoring, where we partnered with all the universities in this local area, and we provided $15 an hour for those college students to come in and tutor our students. We've seen remarkable results as a result of that. We had the Ed Foundation who worked with us. I don't know if Ashley is here or somebody from the Ed Foundation is here, but they provided a community liaison because we're wanting to move to a more community schools model for our schools. And what that does is it provides a person in the school that helps to address some of those community issues that impede learning and impede intelligence. Impede attendance. And what the Ed Foundation has done is sponsored a community liaison paid for at one of our schools to ensure that those students in one of the poorest areas of this city have the resources that they need. And then finally, we can go on and on because you can see a lot of people behind us, but the Housing Authority, and I know I saw the Housing Authority here. The mayor came with an idea about how we can increase students going to school and decrease chronic absenteeism. As I said, we went from 29% to under 14%. And that didn't happen by accident. It happened through a lot of concerted efforts through Mrs. Ross's department, as well as community agencies like the DA's office and helping families with the Housing Authority. This is a way where members of the housing, there she is coming in late, members of the Housing Authority, Dr. Ishman at Washington K-8, Members of the housing, students parents who live in the housing authority, those parents are put into a drawing, and then we incentivize perfect attendance. And I think that has been really successful. We have nearly 40% of our students who live in public housing, whether that be directly living in public housing or through Section 8. I say all of this to say that if you're a school system in an urban environment, you cannot do this work alone. And we could not have seen the increases that we have seen in Birmingham City Schools without all of the people standing behind me and all of the people that are not in this room who push every single day to expect more from students, to expect more from each other, to expect more from our community. And when you expect more, you get more. And so this time, I'm going to ask that our academic officer, our chief academic officer, Dr. Pam Williams, come up and she can talk to you a little bit more specifically about the report card. Then I'm going to have my board president, who was just elected yesterday, to formally introduce the board members and then give reflections. So, Dr. Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. To everyone here today, we thank you for sharing this great day with us. We are very, very proud of our schools, our principals, our networks, our teachers, our staff, our students, our families, our community, for their unwavering hard work and commitment to academic success. This year's increase in our district report card grade reflects a truly coordinated effort, district-wide and community, for everyone. Every stakeholder played a vital role in implementing high-quality instruction, engaging our families, and creating environments where our students can thrive. We want to also acknowledge that this improvement is more than a score. It is evident that when our communities and schools work together with focus and purpose, our students will succeed. Today we celebrate this achievement, but yet we remain committed. This year's report card increase reflects increase in ELA, which is English Language Arts, and mathematics, district-wide. Our student scores improved by either 4 to 5% in either area, meaning that more students are scoring proficient. That's tremendous for Birmingham City Schools. So what does that mean for us now? We'll celebrate today. But now, after today, we will continue to strengthen our instructional practices. We want to expand academic and enrichment opportunities. We're going to continue to invest in professional learning for all, teachers and staff. And then we want to deepen our partnerships to ensure that every student in Birmingham City Schools receives exceptional education for their continued growth and success. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I'm going to take this opportunity to recognize my board members. Our Vice President, Mr. James Sullivan, is not here today, but we have board member Walt Wilson. Raise your hand. Ms. Letitia Harville. I want to say Watkins all the time. Mr. Derek Billups. Mrs. Mary Bowen. Oh. And Mrs. Foy and Mr. Womack. Also, I want to recognize she snuck in here, Ms. Neonta Williams. Thank you. I want to also recognize our previous board members, Mrs. Sonia Smith and Jason Meadows. And I'm going to throw another one out there for all y'all that don't know, Mr. Randall Whiffen. I want to take this time to say, give all praises to the Most High for blessing us, being merciful to us, and blessing us with the ability to do this work. It is a great day in BCS, and we should all be excited and celebrate not only the people that's behind us, but also the people that are our parents and our students. This doesn't happen by happen chance. This actually takes a lot of work, and it takes leadership. And I want to thank Dr. Sullivan for your leadership, for your passion and your desire to make sure that BCS is parents' first choice, as well as making sure all our students are successful. But a good leader needs a plan. And for that, I want to thank the administration and the cabinet for the work that you all have done, for the planning that goes into what we do. And finally, want to thank without any good plan needs execution, and for that I want to thank our principals, our teachers, our counselors, our lunchroom staff, our custodians, for all that you do. And I want to take this time to thank our partners. I want to thank our mayor for always supporting us, our city council for validating us, because that's what we need for confidence to build in our school system. And finally, I want to thank our school board members for always being supportive of the work, to be the watchful eye, and most importantly, not getting in the way. So I'll close by saying this. If you have not heard, and this is the first time you have been present, I want to be the first to say BCS success starts here. Thank you.
So I want to bring up, and Mr. Collins hit on this, the work happens in the schools. You know, it really happens in the schools. And I say that there are two employees in the school system. There are teachers, and there are those who support teachers. And one of the individuals who are supporting teachers is a principal at Washington K-8, which I shared. She came into the school. The school was a 55F, and now it's an 80B. So I'm going to ask Dr. Ishman if she would come up and say a few words.
Good morning. I am definitely proud of the work that we've done here at Washington. It is just me standing here, but there are hundreds of students that I'm very proud of. They work hard each and every day, and definitely dozens of teachers who put the work in. They have the passion to do what they do each and every day. This has not been an easy job, but it has been good work. And as a principal here at Booker T. Washington, all of the principals in Birmingham City Schools, we work hard and we have the support, and I want to thank Dr. Sullivan for the support. I served under him as a teacher and now as a principal, and I know he means business. And when he came to a principals meeting last year and said, look, we want to see A's and B's on those report cards, I went back to my school and I said, Dr. Sullivan said he wants a B. And we began working each and every day, weekly planning meetings to make sure that that happened. And not only that, he came to my school last year with another challenge and said, Dr. Isham, I want a dual language program at your school. And I said, yes, sir. What is that? But we figured it out. I didn't tell him I didn't know. We figured it out, and now here at Birmingham City Schools, we have the first dual language program in the state of Alabama. We're very proud of that. So we have kindergarten and first grade students learning in English and in Spanish, and for our native English speakers, it is a big deal. So when they come in the room, they are speaking in both languages, so we're very proud of them. But thank you so much, Dr. Sullivan. Thank you to the cabinet. Thank you to our board members, everyone who provides us with the support that we need. We have nothing going in Birmingham City but success, and we're going to the top. Thank you.
Fred, before we open it up, I would like a teacher, and we have a teacher who's willing to volunteer or be voluntold. Come on up, man. I think you came up last year, right?
Good morning. I am so elated to have this opportunity to speak. I'm also a product of BCS. I went to West End High School. I was also in the National Honor Society. But I have had a time. And like he said, success does starts here. We are also partakers of your children, and we are so elated to have the opportunity to teach them and to help them to be problem solvers and career-oriented lifelong learners. I must say, I have been here since 2007, and I'm under Dr. Bobby Phillips at Bush Hill STEAM Academy, where we also serve as proud opportunity takers who love the children and the community we serve. But also, like I said, success starts there. We take in intercession and we take it and we hold on to it. And we have lifelong data meetings each and every day. So we enjoy them. We love the collaboration. I love my colleagues. I love to be able to serve and have a building connection and knowing that in order to be a teacher, you are a lifelong learner and the learning never stops. So we pride ourselves under Dr. Phillips, who are always in the place. He never is absent. He's always there to support us in whatever we need, and we thank Dr. Sullivan and every stakeholder that helps us. But again, success starts here.
All right, so now is the opportunity for a brief Q&A session for the media. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask those questions.
You don't have to ask them with me. We got a lot of stakeholders who provide support for us. Yes, sir.
What was the particular score in numbers for reading and ELA proficiency?
Dr. Williams.
Right here.
While she's getting that, is there another question?
Yeah, and what's one particular, with all this good news today, what's one particular area that you guys are targeting the most maybe to raise in the next year, and how?
So we are really focusing on, so one of the things that we have seen is a kind of a flat graduation rate. Our graduation rate is fluctuating around 81, 82%. Last night, the school board approved two programs. One is a NAF program, which provides wall-to-wall academies for our students. And what does that do? When you start looking at research as to why kids drop out of school, typically kids drop out of high school because they're not connected to something in high school. So what wall-to-wall academies means is that every student that walks into one of our high schools, they are assigned to some small group, to sheltered group, that those kids work together, they build a relationship, and then those kids are more likely to graduate. They also are more likely to attend school. They're less likely to have discipline problems. That's one thing. Then secondly, there's another program around providing sheltered supports for ninth grade students. We know that students don't start dropping out of high school in the 12th grade. They actually start dropping out of high school in the ninth grade, right? So with failing one class or failing two classes, and you get further and further behind, and then it becomes almost overwhelming trying to make up those classes at the same time you're trying to take that full load in order to graduate on time. So working on our graduation rate is one of those big things. And then also, you know, our numeracy and literacy is still, although we are moving in the right direction, we're still not where we want to be. We're still below the state average, so we want to make sure that we can get to the state average or higher. So there's still a lot of work to do, but we feel like the path that we are on, we're making a lot of strides. And as you can see, you know, going from the most failing schools in the state to only one, it shows that the work is working. And so, Dr. Williams, did you get the data?
So the actual ELA and math scores have not posted, but our overall academic achievement increased from 42% last year to 47% this year. And our overall growth in academics increased from 90% last year to 92%. So it does indicate that our students are achieving at higher levels with a 5% increase.
Yes, sir. Oh, you're giving them a thumb up. There you go. What the outlet?
NBC 13.
13, there you go. No crisis in the classroom. Yes, sir.
Last month there was a report that said that about 482 students who enrolled last year are not enrolled this year in the schools. Do you guys know why that is? Did they move? Is it the CHOOSE Act that contributed to that?
So we are looking at the data right now. We really don't know specifically by student why the enrollment is down. What we do know is that the enrollment is not just down in Birmingham. I think you saw the state superintendent say that across the state we're down about 5,000 students, and about 2,000 of those students they don't know where they are. He indicated that that's the biggest one-year drop since the foundation program started in 1994. So clearly there's a statewide issue that's at play. And so I think that working with the state to really identify and dig into specifically student by student why that is, it'd be hard to make an overall assertion as to why that's happening. Yes, ma'am.
What's been the environment in the classrooms with going into the communities and trying to fix problems there first and then moving into the learning?
So that's a very good question. You know, coming out of the pandemic, one of the things that we were really focused on was wraparound services and the mental health supports. That's why when I mentioned the mayor earlier, you know, providing a counselor in every school is key, because that counselor is the first line of defense when a child is experiencing some level of mental health issues. And so that has been huge for us. Also, we recently received a $15 million grant over 5 years to provide mental health services for our students. I think it's 22 mental health workers will be hired through the school system, and we've already started that process. And then just recently, another, you know, Randy, you probably need to stand up here. The mayor partnered with local food banks to really address the SNAP issue, because that's a real issue. You know, even though the government is still opening up, I mean, if you've been without adequate food for a month, you know, that's kind of, you know, a little bit too late, right? And so it affected us as a school district as well, because we get reimbursed on a monthly basis for our child nutrition program. Luckily, in Birmingham City Schools, we had a healthy reserve, but that was a tune of $1.5 million a month. Now, our goal is to get the refund for that, for those months that we kind of paid it while the government was shut down. But then you think about school systems in the Black Belt who may not have a healthy reserve, and those schools have to have to feed students. And so, you know, making sure that we're taking care of those needs will really benefit students in the classroom, because we as adults, we don't learn if we're hungry, and kids definitely can't learn if they're hungry. And so they don't learn if they're cold, they don't learn if they have stress at home, and so we have to take care of those wraparound services so that we can take care of the reading, writing, and arithmetic, as they say. Any other questions? All right.
So I would like to encourage those who may be watching at home, you can find out what's happening in Birmingham City Schools by visiting bhamcityschools.org and also searching our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages. That will conclude our press conference for today.